Hey, welcome to part 2 of the trail development log. I had a whole bunch of footage that I accidentally deleted, so I'm kind of having to piece this one together, but it is in 4K now, so make sure you turn that feature on. And I'm going to start down in the creek. I was able to get some time down there and to see what it looks like down in that area, and I'll focus on some of the drainage issues and some of the honeysuckle mitigation. So let's get into it. So this is down in the creek, and you can see right here where the trail comes down, and behind this fallen honeysuckle does a nice little gentle roll down into the creek, which is right on the corner of my property. We're standing on the northwest corner of my property right now, but it follows along this creek line, and right up there where the little orange flag is, it's hard to see. But I think, yeah, eventually the trail will kind of come up this embankment up to about here, and then follow along this ridge line, which will drop it down into the creek over here, and then you would climb back up. So nice little loop right there, and then back up the hillside. This is the back side of that, the log and the drainage embankment that kind of almost divides me and my neighbor's property. Steep little ravine that does appear to be draining fairly well, but I'm gonna have to clean that out. And then here's the climb back up into the trail system. This was all impassable the other day, but about an hour with a machete clears it out. So and I'm using flags paired in threes to denote a trail intersection. So the trail comes along here and drops off, and that's where I was standing down there a moment ago, or takes a left and heads down this direction. So now we're heading back up to the quote-unquote trailhead, at least for what I'm calling it now. And there's the top side of that drainage area, the log and a little 2-foot embankment. So we're down here at this trailhead feature, and off this direction, which is to the east, was also impassable, but this is one of the major drainage areas. So I've gone through and cleared this out. Still lots of brush and such just laying on the ground, trapping water, as you can see. But then this goes along for a good 20 feet to another intersection that takes you down into the creek, or you can go this direction, and this is up behind my other neighbor's property, my eastern neighbor's property, and it kind of goes up here, and there's a little rise, probably 40-50 feet up that direction. It raises up maybe 8 feet. So I think eventually the trail will kind of meander through, up and around, and over to the creek, and then along the creek and through this direction, and it'll border the creek and eventually junction with to the little downhill down into the creek over there. The name of the game, I think, right now is clearing dead honeysuckle and dead brush so that sunlight can get on the trail. This part of the trail here that's in sunshine right now, as far as I've been living here, has never seen real sunshine. And the only things that can survive really are the honeysuckle. So that's critical to allow some sun to get to the trail surface to dry it up. And as you can see, just partially by luck, but that follows exactly, that little stripe of sunshine is exactly where I want it to go. And it's the hottest part of the day, so that's perfect. It's a catch-22 though, because if I remove too much alive honeysuckle, it could, that live honeysuckle is absorbing more moisture from the soil. Because a lot of these tall trees, unfortunately, are dead. I think a lot of them were ash trees, and we all know what happened to the ash trees. So they're not doing anything. There's probably 8 healthy, large, live trees out here that are really doing work, and then a bunch of honeysuckle. So I can't take too much honeysuckle, at least not right away. Not until I've got proper drainage in place. So that's the a bit of a catch-22 there. So I'm heading back to the trailhead now. So the other direction I went in the past few days was down along that log and kind of did some clearing. When I say log, what I mean is giant tree. And it's probably 60 feet long, and it's supported pretty securely at the bottom end because it's still rooted, obviously not growing. And then at this end, it's supported on a really old established honeysuckle with a trunk that's probably 10 inches in diameter. It's probably the biggest honeysuckle I've seen so far. So the log's pretty steady. The last thing to show you today is the drainage. I have done a little bit of work here, which was the soupiest part, but the dirt was so wet and heavy and sloppy it was really hard to dig, so I didn't do too much. But I got a 10-inch steel tamper to kind of tamp down a bed you can see here. But this was all standing water just 2 days ago, and it's still pretty sloppy, but it's firm. It's you can stand on it without sinking into the mud, so that's encouraging. So there'll be a few other spots that I have to do that, but that'll be best done when the dirt is a little bit drier, I think. Hard work, but worth it. So, and then I started to clear up this direction, which will be kind of a corridor that'll go right through here. This is all a new growth honeysuckle, and it's just a wall. And again, I can't take too much of it because I don't want to take away the moisture absorption. So that's the bulk of it for now. Thanks for tuning in, and I might make a regular thing out of this. I know I was looking for videos of people clearing woods and maintaining trails in the Midwest with zero experience and didn't really find much, so maybe this will help some people. So if you're, you know, a random YouTube dweller, welcome, thanks, hi, and I'll see you next time around.